Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a Neuvillette Texas Nerve by me, so let's get into it. He had no idea how having a child with you would be like. It was something of a struggle to him, because he had no idea how the child would look like, how the birth would be like, and he was not really sure how having a baby between a dragon and a human would be. And although he looks like a human, it could be different. And he had no idea if that would be safe. But you convinced him, in a couple milliscenes, that it would turn out fine, and that it's at least worth trying for. And that's why he's been so eager to do this. But when you gave birth to your daughter, she looked like a normal human, or that's what he thought at first, until she started to grow up. At 2 years old, blue scales were visible on her back, and claws on her fingers. And there were some things akin to horns growing on the top of her head. And he was looking at her. He was quite sure that just a couple hours ago, before either of you two woke up, she was not like this. Wyan, please, tell me you're seeing things. No, you're not, Neuvillette. I have no idea what's going on either. Is she okay? I suppose so. I don't think that there's anything wrong with her. She seems pretty fine. But I'm not sure how she's going to be right now. And can she turn? I would rather not her have this hormone so early on. She could hurt you with those claws. You know how children are like. Neuvillette? I sense that's not the real reason. What's going on? I can see the look on your face, you know. You say, crossing your arms, because he looks rather unsure and a little bit nervous even, which was funny to see considering that Neuvillette never had any real reason to be nervous. But after some contemplation, he decides to tell you his opinion, although he's not really fond of it. You see, Wyan, I wasn't sure if she would be a human or not when we were planning to have her. But I got used to her being a human, and I was relieved to know that she had no dragon features, as much as I would love that. I don't want people to treat her like she's different. You know how people treated me when I first came here, and how it was. I don't want her to be outcast from society. That's all I'm worried about. Trust me, please. Oh, Neuvillette. I didn't mean to make you think about these things. I'm really sorry. And I guess you do have a point. But I think it will be quite different, you know? Different? Why? Well, the Melusines are very accepted here now, right? And people love you, Neuvillette. They trust in their Eudex and their Chief Justice. And they know that you're so kind and so full of love. Nobody actually has any suspicions when it comes to you. So I think it will be different. I know people had their own grudges against you when you first came here. But I'm sure that now it's so much different. You may need to rewire that brain of yours a little bit. But what I know and what I'm sure of is that our daughter won't have any difficulty. Whether it be that she's a dragon with draconic features like yours, or even more, or even if she's not. Besides, I think these little horns look so adorable on her. Don't you think? He smiles, his heart melting at the sight, and he nods, picking her up and cradling her close. In reality, he really thought she looked adorable. To see a dragon like himself, or even a half-dragon, he was so happy about that. He was happy to have someone like himself. Someone who will actually look like him. And his heart melted to know that maybe He could share with her all that he knows about being a dragon, too. He will have someone to talk to about these things, the experiences that he uniquely goes through, and it will be different in a way. So as he holds your daughter and looks at you, he can only feel blessed for being given this gift of life, and the gift of having someone as wonderful as you are by his side. It is entirely different, entirely, entirely new from what he imagined he would be having at this time. At this time, he probably thought that he would still be in his office. All that he would be busy about would be his matters as a Udex. But then again, he also did not think the prophecy would occur, and that Lady Farina would not be the Archon. So who's he to say that he can know and predict fate? There is a lot that he does not know, despite being a dragon, who's more than 1,000 years old. And right now he's learning with you. Learning this new feeling of love. Learning what it means to have a family. And what it means to be someone who's wanted and desired. In the ways that you loved him. And he knows for certain that no matter what difficulties his daughter may face, he will stand by her side, despite all of them. He will do whatever it takes to make her happy, because that is one thing that he will be damned on doing. And that's also why he's so sure that in the future, as hesitant as he was about all of this, he will never force her to turn and switch forms, just so she looks more human. He hopes that you can look like this, like him, and be proud of who she is. And for now, he's quite sure that he can do that, with someone like you by his side, reassuring him and helping him do this, because it was difficult for him in its own ways. And as you watched him talk to your daughter and cradle her gently in his arms, you wrapped your arms around them both and enjoyed this moment, this tender moment that your family was having, knowing that you would always be together no matter what difficulties arise, and what obstacles happen. Your support for your dragon partner and your daughter, who looks a lot like him, will be endless. And as she smiled in your arms, you could only have hope for the future and what is to come next.